fucking me. Hey guys, long time no see. It's Danger here, and this is an update on Project Enso. So I just recorded a 30-minute long video, and I figured I could upload that and no one would watch it, or I could make this video and maybe my mom will watch it. So, bish, bang, boom, what are we talking about today? Project Enso, that is, boom, a big circle, talking about flow, we're talking about making things A1, we're talking about being woke AF, and that is the gist of Project Enso. So there's three components, three components of Project Enso, and those components are: 1, management of physical stuff; 2, management of cultural and emotional stuff; and 3, actually doing stuff. So now for most of you, what you're going to start with is actually doing stuff. You're going to do stuff, you're going to realize, oh, I'm bad at this stuff, and you're like, I need to improve. So this is where I come in and I say, hey, looky. First of all, the things you think you need to get good at, get good, son. The things you need to get good at might not be the things you think you need to get good at. In other words, I might have a better list of things that you should probably get good at first. So for instance, you don't necessarily need to get good at League of Legends unless you're going to be a streamer. But you might want to get really good at memory training. For instance, you might want to get better at memorizing things than learning how to make flashcards. Because if you learn how to memorize things, then you don't have to make flashcards. Boom! So, here's what I'm talking about, right? Stuff, wall. You gotta go over, around, through, cut off your hand. You gotta make sure that you can solve that problem. So, what I'm gonna do, I give you, hey, there's that shit. That is good. That is better than what you were gonna do, and that's where we're at so far. And I'm gonna tell you some other stuff that you can do to make sure that that process is even more dank, like pungent, like whew. So, first, material things. When you're like, okay, look, I want to know how to make the good flashcards. I'm like, yo, just do memory stuff. And you're like, what? How do I do that? I have no time. Like, I don't have a resource. I'm like, look, here's how you can do it. Here's where you can do it. That's still contemporary. And now, I'm going to tell you how to make sure that you, A, are doing the things that you actually want to do, and B, are doing them well. So basically, I say, look, why do you actually want to get good at this thing, this contemporary element, this contemporary thing? And you say, well, and I'm like, look, I don't care. Okay, cool, that's great, as long as you know. 2, how are you going to get there? What is your goal? Well, you're like, well, dude, I already figured that out. And you're like, I'm like, wow, cool, you're already way ahead of the curve. Maybe that's why I designed it like this way, so you can immediately, boom. 3, routine. Now that you've established what your purpose is, what your goal is, what within that purpose, how do you accomplish the purpose with the goal? 3, you establish your routine, okay? This is the thing, right? You realize you're bad at something. You're like, I gotta get good. I make sure that you know why you want to get good and for what reason you want to get good. And then I say 3, now that you know those things, okay? Now that you know those things, figure out a way to make sure you do get good. Do it every day. Do it every week. Do it every month. Whatever you need to do to make sure that happens, gotta make that happen. 4 and 5. Efficiency. Make sure that is efficient ham sandwich. Like, when you want to be able to, like, flash in level 1. Don't even take a spell. Get first blood. Boom. Pentakill. That's what you want to be like. Okay? But in order to do that, you need to make sure you know where you're going. You need to make sure that you have some way of actually doing it so you don't burn out or screw up in some way. You don't want to get those, like, giant freaking biceps when your legs are like, huh. eat up, arca, okay? You want that stuff to be efficient. Every routine you do, you know what I'm saying? Okay? Every routine has to be efficient. And, okay, the environment you do it in has to be like, boom, smooth sailing. You hit a bump, okay? Boom, unnecessary bump. Remove. You don't just, like, oh, what are these? Kill that. You don't want to be, okay? You don't want this. You don't want this meme, okay? This is an old meme. You want this meme. What if I just figured it out? Boom! And all the while you're doing this, while you're learning how to get good, and you're learning how to actually problem solve, and learning the different elements that you can improve upon, you're actually going back to those contemporary skills, and you're doing all that stuff too. You're getting better at memory. You're learning how to, I don't know, be artistically decorating something. Art, science, you know, whatever. Okay? You're doing it. Then, you're like, oh, dude, I'm actually the perfect being ever. And I'm like, no. What you are right now is Dorian Gray. Dorian Gray thought he was perfect, but he was actually just a psychopath. Yeah. So, now you're like, whew, I don't want to be a psychopath. I'm like, hey, fam, I got you covered. Now we move on to phase 2. And then I'm like, wait, just so you know, I can't see. These are all occurring at the same time because it's all about Ouroboros, it's all about Enso, it's all about that circle, but we live in a linear time frame. So that's why I'm doing it like this. This is just a structure for you to understand, to wrap your mind around. Get it? Because it's a circle, it's like a snake. You know? It's like a snake. Okay, so now, boom. There you go. Phase 2. Okay, phase 2, you're like, now that I'm a perfect god of efficiency and routine, why am I so empty inside? And why can I only solve problems that are on this list? Well, here's why. 1, your culture is limiting you. It's worked for you so far, you need to expand your mind. You need to understand yourself, you need to understand other people. And that is what all phase 2 is about. Phase 2 is not even up here. That's how far out there it is. It's like learning how to be an adult, not just by becoming good at things, but actually not acting like a child, like I'm doing right now. Very consciously, mind you. Where am I? You'll never know. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 is right here. You want to make a video. Learn how to use freaking tablet. Right? How did you do that? Well, you didn't know this. So you went through all this. But you did that. And then you did that. You did phase 1, you did phase 2, you did phase 1, you did phase 2. It all ties together. It's like, boom. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Alright, that's all I have. That's Project Enso. Basically, you get good, you gank shit, and you don't feed. And as long as you do those 3 things, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, headshot. Okay? As long as you do those things, you're good. Stick with me, and just don't do cocaine. That's all I have to say. As long, you know, that's it. That's the video. All right, I'm done. I'm outie.